And Happy New Year. This is the first day of 2026. Boy, where did the year go? It seems like there were so many challenges and so many choices and decisions we've had to make during this last year. And one of the great things that I was able to accomplish this year was to be able to open Miss D's Boutique, which is giving clothes to homeless people and people that are unhoused. And at the DAP location, we've been able to do over 600 people from April to the end of December here. And to help with the shared plate feeding ministry, and to be able to do Miss D's Fifth Sunday trans-denominational concerts, which help raise money for nonprofit groups. Those are some of the wonderful things that I've been able to do on a professional level. On a private level, my private level life sometimes is a lot more challenging than that. And I look at the end of the year to resolve situations, not necessarily making a resolution that is going to be unrealistic, but to resolve situations that I'm in the midst of. For instance, sometimes I enable people rather than help them, and I don't realize that I'm enabling them until it's hurt me and it's hurt them at the same time. But when I think of the New Year's resolution, I'm beginning to look at it as a personal promise or a commitment made to start the new calendar year, for me, with a change in a behavior, an improvement in myself, and to set specific goals that aren't just a way to escape things, but a way to make positive change more sustainable for me. It's a time of a self-reflection and a fresh start. For me, it also includes the finances. It includes health, and it does include, to some degree, looking to see what does really make me happy and what doesn't make me happy in my life. And one of the things that I realize as I get older is that it involves being realistic. It involves maybe being having a strategy of just focusing on one or maybe two key goals. And in those goals, breaking them into small steps and understanding my why. Why am I wanting to integrate these into my routine? And for me, the new year doesn't have to be so much a new me as it is also a time to take some fun and to be adventuresome. I find that this last year I found myself struggling in giving myself grace for goals that I didn't achieve and putting pressure on myself. And, you know, change is messy, and change isn't a straight line. And change often requires a couple of steps, like 2 steps forward and maybe 1 step where we fall down and we're in the plant somewhere. And I'm trying to figure out, in making the change or in resolving, to be realistic and to make my resolutions that are clear and that they're not too broad. And when I understand more of what I want, then I'm embracing a journey of learning what works for me and what doesn't work for me. Now, one of the things that I do is I call it choices, challenges, and change. choices, they lead to challenges, you know, the obstacles or the opportunities. And when they're navigated, right, then they lead to a personal growth. And change is about actively deciding to step out of my comfort zone. And the choices that I make as I change, they lead to a transformative growth and a new version of myself, and sometimes of my circumstance at the same time. Who knew last year at this time that I would be living as a trans woman? That has been a transformational journey of choices and challenges, and certainly a lot of changes. One of the things that I have to realize and have realized is that what works for me is building habits. Building habits. I integrate resolutions into my routine. I don't just change a routine completely. You know, it has been said that it takes 66 days to build a new habit. And in building this new habit, I've got to be realistic in what these habits. Now, one of the routines that I have is that every single morning I meditate. I don't wait till nighttime. I meditate in the morning and I set an intention for the morning. What is my intention for the day? Is my intention to bring more joy? Is my intention to be more kind? What is the intention? What is the one word that I'm setting forth for the day? And as I began to work this into my life this last year, I began to look at what I was doing, and I would take like one idea or one goal and integrate it to habits that I already had going. So as I began to put my makeup on in the morning, and I began to look in the mirror, and I'm focusing on what I'm going to look like on the outside, I begin to focus on what is it that I'm going to look like on the inside. How is that light going to shine through me today? What does that look like to me, and what does that look like to others? And for me, whether you call it Allah, whether you call it a God, whether you call it whatever you call it, it is God to me. That is the creator. That is the core of who I am. That is the essence of who I am. And the choice is for me each day to bring that godness out in my life. The challenge is to back up from my ego mind and my being egocentric and trying to do it all myself, and to just simply begin to relax and say, dear God, you through me as me, reaching out to a hurting world, a world that is complex, a world that's needing answers. Let me just follow the leader, follow you because you know best. And sometimes these three challenges of change and choices and hearing becomes real difficult in my own thinking. Excuse me as I sneeze. So I want to say to you, don't struggle with yourself. Take something that's manageable. Take something that, if you relapse from making that particular choice, that you can back up and you can be kind to yourself on it. Say that you're going to eat healthier. Say that that is as one of the things that you're intending to do, and to eat healthier. And say that you find yourself eating a bag of potato chips or whatever it is, and that you're not eating as healthy. Don't just sit there and indulge in the potato chip. recognize it, name it, and say, you know what? This is reminding me of the goal that I'm working towards. Say something nice to yourself. Be kind to yourself. Now, a lot of you are, that watch me, some of you are in addiction, in alcohol addiction, drug addiction, and you say, oh, come the first of the year, I'm going to stop using drugs. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to stop that. And what I have to say to you is that, even though we intend to stop or make a change in our behavior, we also need to make a plan for relapse. That if we relapse from what our plan is, that we don't view it as a failure, but we view it as a beginning place that, yes, yesterday I fell off the wagon. Yes, yesterday, not as an excuse, but as a being realistic that, yes, change can be messy. And yes, change is not always straightforward. And yes, we're going to mess up and we're going to fall on our face. But what's important is that you pick yourself up. And in picking yourself up, you dust yourself off and you said, I'm more important. I am more important, and I am a wonderful human treasure. And I understand more and more of what I really want than what I don't want. And as I begin to put myself towards what I want my life to be like, I begin to realize that in my struggling, rather than struggle, I can prioritize and I can give myself more grace. Now, change is about actively deciding to step out of your comfort zone, to do something different. If nothing changes, nothing changes. My question to you is, do you want to live a transformative life in 2026? If you want to live a transformative life, then begin to clarify just one or two things. Clarify one or two things. Break them down into something simple and integrate them into the relationship that you always have. So from my heart to your heart on this first day of 2026, may you see yourself prospering. May you see yourself in health. May you see yourself in happiness for this year, because it all begins with you. And let us make successful New Year's resolutions that involve being realistic, specific, and having a great strategy to let them become the new leadership of our life. Until later on in this month, this is Dr. D saying, remember, you are the prize.